Let's face it, most self-defense systems ignore what happens when a real fight hits the ground. They focus on punches, kicks, and flashy moves, but rarely address the gritty reality of what happens when you're suddenly wrestling for your life on unforgiving concrete. The truth is, the ground is where things get truly unpredictable and dangerous. Statistics show that a huge percentage of street fights end up on the ground, where chaos reigns and there are no rules. In these moments, you're not just fighting your opponent, you're fighting the environment, the hard pavement, and the possibility of multiple threats. There's no referee to stop the action, no mats to cushion your fall, and no timeouts if things get out of hand. Your survival depends on skills that most stand-up systems don't teach. If you only know how to defend yourself while standing, you're leaving a massive gap in your self-defense arsenal. The ground is a different world, and without the right training, it can quickly become a nightmare. This is where Wesley Gimenez and Fernando Paque from Brazil saw a critical gap. They realized that most people, even experienced martial artists, were unprepared for the harsh realities of ground combat in real-world situations. They created Jiu-Jitsu Caveira, a ground survival system built for the street, not the sport. This isn't about points or medals, it's about making sure you get home safe no matter what. Unlike typical Jiu-Jitsu or Krav Maga, this system is designed for the worst-case scenario, the kind of situations you hope never happen, but must be ready for if they do. Multiple attackers, weapons, and no referees. You might be outnumbered, outgunned, or ambushed from behind. Jiu-Jitsu Caveira prepares you for the chaos, not just the competition. Imagine being tackled to the pavement, your attacker on top, throwing punches or reaching for a weapon. The shock of the impact, the pain of the asphalt, and the adrenaline surge can overwhelm even the most experienced fighters. In that split second, your training, or lack of it, will decide what happens next. Jiu-Jitsu Caveira gives you the tools and mindset to survive, turn the tables, and get back on your feet fast. It's about practical techniques that work under pressure, when your heart is pounding and your mind is racing. It's about being a complete warrior, dangerous standing or on the ground. You learn to adapt, improvise, and overcome, no matter where the fight takes you. Self-defense isn't just about hoping the fight stays upright. You must be ready for the ground. The reality is, you don't get to choose where the fight happens, but you can choose to be prepared for every possibility. Jiu-Jitsu Caveira is that preparation. It's a mindset, a set of skills, and a community dedicated to real-world survival. It's the answer to one of the most dangerous, overlooked aspects of personal safety. When others freeze or panic, you'll have the confidence and ability to act decisively. In a real fight, there's no tap-out, only survival. The only thing that matters is getting out alive and unharmed. This system is designed to make sure you're the one who walks away. When the fight hits the floor, you'll be ready. Not just to survive, but to win. To understand Jiu-Jitsu Caveira, you need to know its roots. Krav Maga Caveira. Developed by Wesley Gimenez, a martial artist and former penal police officer, this system was forged in the violence of Brazil's streets. Wesley trained Krav Maga worldwide but stripped away anything that didn't work under real pressure. Krav Maga Caveira is about simplicity, aggression, and using natural reflexes to end threats fast. There are no rules, just survival. It's built for surprise attacks, multiple opponents, and life-or-death situations. Every technique is tested for one thing. Will it work when you're scared, tired, and under attack? This is the DNA of Caveira. Brutal effectiveness forged in real-world experience. Jiu-Jitsu Caveira carries the same skull emblem and commitment to what works when everything goes wrong. Traditional Krav Maga is brilliant for stand-up self-defense, but it has a blind spot: ground fighting. The classic approach is simple: get up as fast as possible. But what if you can't? What if a bigger attacker pins you down? Wanting to get up isn't enough, you need technical solutions. You need to neutralize strikes, create space, reverse positions, and escape. Krav Maga was designed for military use, where staying on the ground is a nightmare. But for civilians, a more nuanced ground game is essential. Wesley Gimenez saw his students were vulnerable on the ground. They needed a ground system as direct and efficient as Caveira's stand-up game. That's why Jiu-Jitsu Caveira was created, to fill the most dangerous gap in self-defense. The answer wasn't to abandon Krav Maga or copy sport Jiu-Jitsu, it was to fuse the best of both. Fernando Paque, a BJJ black belt and federal police instructor, teamed up with Wesley Gimenez to create something new. They stripped sport BJJ of anything that didn't work in a street fight. No reliance on uniforms, no points, no rules. Only the most direct, high-percentage techniques survive. Jiu-Jitsu Caveira combines BJJ's leverage and control with Krav Maga's aggression and survival mindset. It's about using joint locks and chokes to neutralize attackers, not score points. Every move is tied to survival. Get up, escape, or finish the threat. The result? A fighter who's dangerous standing or on the ground with no gaps in their defense. This is the complete self-defense athlete, ready for real-world chaos. What truly sets Jiu-Jitsu Caveira apart from other systems? It all comes down to 4 core principles that shape every aspect of training. The first is simplicity. When adrenaline is high and chaos erupts, complicated moves often break down. Under stress, the body reverts to what's simple and instinctive. That's why Caveira techniques are designed to be simple, quick to learn, and rooted in natural reflexes. You don't need to memorize endless steps, just effective, direct responses that work when you need them most. The second principle is statistics-based training. The Caveira curriculum is built around the most common attacks and positions you're likely to face in real life, whether on the street or in a confrontation. It doesn't waste time on flashy, rare scenarios. You'll spend your time drilling what matters most, escaping headlocks, defending against punches from the mount, and learning how to get up safely from the ground. Third is versatility. Fights are unpredictable and messy. Caveira is designed to work anywhere. No GI, no special gear, and in any environment, whether it's a parking lot, a living room, or a crowded street. You'll learn to adapt your skills to tight hallways, inside vehicles, or on uneven ground. The goal is to be ready for anything, anywhere. The fourth principle is real testing. Every Caveira technique is pressure tested in realistic, chaotic scenarios, against fully resisting opponents, not just cooperative partners. Training means fighting from bad positions, in confined spaces, and against real resistance. So you know what works when things go wrong. Only techniques that hold up under pressure and chaos make the cut. Everything else is left behind. These 4 principles guarantee that every move you learn is practical, effective, and proven to work when it matters most, when your safety is on the line. Jiu-Jitsu Caveira isn't about theory or tradition for its own sake. It's about survival, adaptability, and real-world results. If a technique doesn't work in the real world, it's out, no exceptions. That's what makes Jiu-Jitsu Caveira different, a relentless focus on what actually works, so you're always prepared for the unexpected. The Jiu-Jitsu Caveira toolbox is all about brutal efficiency. Every move is designed for real-world survival, not for points or style. This system strips away the unnecessary, focusing only on what truly works when things get chaotic. There are no fancy moves or flashy techniques here, just practical, proven tactics that have been pressure tested in the toughest environments. In a street fight, simplicity and effectiveness are what matter most. The focus is clear. Solve the most common problems you'll face from clinch to ground and make sure you get home safe. Every drill and scenario is built around real threats you might encounter on the street. Standing arm locks and chokes are emphasized because they can end a confrontation before it ever hits the ground. These techniques are fast, direct, and can neutralize an attacker in seconds. Unlike sport BJJ, Caveira's approach is to stay on your feet whenever possible. But if you're forced into a clinch or taken down, you're always ready to adapt and fight back with purpose. Submissions are kept simple and powerful, using the attacker's own aggression and momentum against them. The goal is to end the threat quickly without unnecessary struggle or risk. On the ground, training centers on escaping the worst positions, like being pinned, mounted, or controlled. You learn to stay calm under pressure and react with explosive escapes. Whether you're trapped under mount, caught in back control, or facing punches raining down, you're taught to defend, survive, and turn the tables. Techniques are explosive and aggressive, designed to disrupt your opponent's control and create the space you need to escape or counterattack. Everything is no GI, using head control, underhooks, and joint manipulation to dominate, regardless of what your opponent is wearing. This keeps the system practical for any situation. The most critical skill is getting up safely. Technical stand-ups and tactical get-ups are drilled until they become second nature, so you can always return to your feet and regain control. The ultimate goal: create distance, get to your feet, and control the fight from a position of strength. In Caveira, every technique is a step towards safety and dominance. Jiu-Jitsu Caveira's training is as real as its techniques. Scenario-based drills put you in chaotic situations, pinned in a car, ambushed in a hallway, fighting up from the ground. You learn to apply techniques under real pressure, building the mental toughness to stay calm and effective. Can't train in Brazil. The Fusao Jiu-Jitsu x Krav Maga online course brings over 250 lessons to you, anywhere in the world. Every aspect is covered, no GI submissions, sweeps, and critical drills for getting up. The goal isn't points or medals, it's survival. Sport BJJ builds skill, but its habits can be dangerous on the street. Jiu-Jitsu Caveira strips away sport rules and focuses on self-preservation. For anyone serious about personal safety, this system is a must. Learn the system built for the street, not the tournament.